they're sharing about at that time, there was a grand rabbi named, many of you remember him, in Brooklyn, Menachem Stiersim. And the Orthodox hailed him towards the end of his life, some of you remember, as the Messiah. He ended up dying of a stroke. You'd think somebody then, at least then, would admit that he wasn't the Messiah. But what they did instead is they started praying at his grave. They even believed he would rise again. I mean, here many of them who are attacking the resurrection of Messiah, and they spoke of their Messiah rising. They spoke of praying to him rather than admit they were wrong. One Orthodox caller on the radio show, we asked him, will you deny that this man who was already dead, that he was the Messiah? And he couldn't deny it. He would not deny it because they could not admit they were wrong. One Orthodox caller, we were reading Proverbs 30, which says basically, it says, who has gone up to heaven and descended? Who has gathered, who holds the water, the oceans in his hand? Who has gathered the winds in the hollow of his hands? What is his name? And obviously, that's God. Who established the ends of the earth? It's obviously God. So, and then it says, who is his son? This is from Proverbs 30. This is the Proverbs. They're saying God has his son. But he knew what was at the end of it. So we're saying, okay, so answer this. Who has gone up to this, who descended? Who has gone up? And he says, Moses. I said, Moses? Who has gathered the wind in the hollow of his hand? He says, Moses. Really, Moses? Who has the waters of the oceans in his cloak? Moses. That's obviously crazy. But he couldn't say, I was wrong, so he had to be crazy. He knew it was clearly God, and then it's going to say God has a son, but he couldn't do that. Is it just a coincidence that most people happen to believe that their religion is true, the religion that they happen to be born into? The Hindu believes that Hinduism is right because he was born into it. The Muslim believes that it's right, most of them because they were born into it. The atheist because many times they were born into that house. Nominal Christian, whatever their denomination is, that's what I am. But the true child of God is not born into it. The true child of God has to come to it. No matter whether you're born in a Christian home or not, you have to discover God for yourself. And that requires you in some way saying, I was wrong.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.